So yesterday, spoke about Polkadot for the first time. I'm looking to buy more than what I've got right now. But let's find out if there's any other coins on their ecosystem that could do well. So, hi, welcome to the channel. If you are new, subscribe, bell button, like, comment, cool, helps the world go round. So, my membership, by the way, to all the people that have joined, thank you very much. Massively appreciated. I've just put a post on there on 2 positions I've just bought into. One of them is in this video. You've got to guess which one it is, though. Ha ha ha, cheeky. But this video did really well considering. So, as I say, I spoke about DOT yesterday for the first time publicly, and I put some nice buy orders in around that $3, $3.50. I'm hoping it gets there. I want a decent chunk. I personally feel that this has got good risk reward. It's got a good element of longevity in terms of potentially competition with Ethereum, which would be nice. Good money is to be made potentially in that case. Not financial advice. But in terms of all this, I want to dedicate this video as a Friday, happy days, to some of the smaller cap coins on their system. Now, just a disclaimer, this is not financial advice. Another disclaimer, this is a sneak little peek of some of them, not all of them, just 5 of them, okay? We're going from some random list. I've got a huge list of stuff on my post-it note here of like all the coins that I wanted to do. I picked 5 at random. I genuinely have picked 5 at random. So we're going to look at them, see what you guys think, and most importantly, don't forget to share the love of the channel, which is obviously hugely appreciated. So the first one is the smallest one. And you can tell by the supply, it is crazy. However, I want to make things obviously clear. This is more of an educational point than anything because of what it is. This most likely will probably get a supply change. I'm not quite sure if it is going to happen yet. But you can see here the value of it. The price is mental. You can see that it's, crazy, but this is on the Polkadot system. So as one of those elements of learning, please don't just buy anything that you see on the Polkadot. Remember, hype is a killer if you don't know what you're doing, essentially. So this one, it's a bit of a bogey one. I do apologize, getting you a bit all hyped up about it. But yeah, the value of it is crazy. They may well be a supply change, who knows? But as you can see, look at the supply of it. It's crazy. There's only 100 coins, 50 in circulating supply. Be careful of those. Make sure you do a ton of research. Anyways, moving on. We are going to look at something that does have some degree of value, a little bit different. And this is the Casings network, which is, in my opinion, interesting. Definitely interesting. When you look at it, in terms of markets, it's only on Uniswap at the moment, so there's definitely potential room for growth. And ultimately, when you look at the website, oh God, I can't even say that word. Can't say that word. Financialization, there you go, of blockchain infrastructure. So this is essentially it's like an oracle in a way, where it works. Think of it like Polkadot Network, if you're going to look at it that way. Very, very similar sort of ilk, and a lot of developments are coming. Obviously, the next couple of years, you can see here the bridge between the chains in 2021. That is key. Launch of the K token swap platform. Then you got, just before that, at the end of the year, you got integration of wallets, block explorers. So in terms of this is potentially huge for the DeFi world. But if it creates a bridge between all these blockchains, this could be a very interesting punt. Now, as I say, risk benefactor elements of everything in world of cryptocurrency investing, they've got to achieve these goals. They've got to do it. But the fact that this is only on one exchange right now is also like just Uniswap, which is crazy, where that is restricted. Uniswap is relatively restricted. Not many people use Uniswap compared to the other exchanges. Obviously, it's a very easy way to do it. But do your research, obviously check it out. But this reminds me very much like Polkadot Network on the world of Ethereum. If you look at it in terms of what they're doing with the DeFi world, creating those reserves, allowing stuff. But you can see here with the Polkadot, they're going to have the power chains, but then you're going to have the bridges to connect to the Atom blockchain and obviously Ethereum blockchain. Then you've got all those liquidity pools to allow it all to work on a substrate framework, which is obviously a part of the blockchain with Polkadot. So that's quite an exciting prospect in my opinion. When you look at where it is in terms of value, like there's only 10 million in maximum supply, which is quite small. In reality, there may well be a change in that, but when you compare and have a little look at it in terms of where it is realistically, in terms of the overall sentiment of it and where it lies in the world of like ranking, it's pretty small. You know, there isn't even a full market cap yet. It's relatively small. So keep an eye on it. Don't just go, boom, I want to jump into it. Keep an eye on it because this is relatively new and it could get very, very interesting once it starts getting picked up and having a little look at it. So in terms of all that, again, look at the socials. It's a very, very small account. It's brand new. This is like fresh as anything. Spoiler alert. Anyways, who knows? The next one is Kalupu. This one is very interesting in my opinion. This has done really well. This is the one that's majorly pumped and it could probably pump even further. Look at the vault. It's just growing crazy and it's starting to get released on exchanges. Currently, the main one is on Qtrade, but it's now on Hotbit and it's also on MXC. So this one's definitely getting some traction right now. In terms of that volume, most of the liquidity is on here, and obviously you're going to get decent volume on there, but it's very, very sketchy volume. It's not great. Look for ones with trust scores. It's usually the best way of doing things. So in terms of what it is, ranking is 149 right now, market cap of roughly 68 million. Relatively small considering that the supply is only 28 million. In my opinion, this could do really well long term. To give you an insight on the world of the website on this one, it's very, very small. It's very, very little. This is it. There's no real big website yet. There's a one in the making, but Kalupu is a proof of work blockchain with on-chain governance and online upgrading. So there's no pre-mine. Ooh, this is obviously, you're not going to get any issues with 51% attacks. And the most important element of it is forkless. There's not going to be any disagreements because it is decentralized. You're not going to have any issues where I look at Bitcoin and Ethereum where they've had problems and forks and shit like that. So this one's definitely interesting. There's a lot of information on this that you need to get your teeth into. In my opinion, this is definitely interesting because it's one of the first ones. Kalupu is a self-update and self-governance blockchain system using proof of work as its consensus system or engine. Kalupu is built on a substrat framework and is one of the first blockchains that combines proof of work consensus with forkless upgrades. So the fact that this is on the world of, the Polkadot system as a parachain is pretty damn decent already in itself, and it could well get some great gains long term as this gets built. And obviously there's no real website yet. There's no, the volume's all there. It's on their parachain already. So this could be a one that could grow quite nicely. It's already today grown quite a bit because of exchange listings. The next one, obviously spoiler alert, is Mantra DAO. This is one that's been hyped up loads on social media. Currently ranked 74, sorry. Get my words out. But this is the last one I'm featuring here because there's tons of them. There's loads of different ones, and I wanted to mention stuff that have not really had much prestige yet. This is another one that's had exchange listings over the last few weeks, doing really, really well. But ultimately, just be careful on some of these. When they start getting picked up by the big exchanges and you're not in them, this is where you get the hype and the pricing. Obviously, when this does go into the likes of, Binance, KuCoin, etc., it will get even bigger price action. But this is why you need to find them low. Find them low and then hold on to them and then take profit at the other end because it will make some severe money. But as I say with markets, look at it, right? 2 weeks ago, this was on no exchanges at all. It's on OKX, which is huge now when you consider it. It's on the likes of Bitmax, getting huge amount of trading volume, whereas some of the other ones I've mentioned, they don't. When you look at this, market cap, 54 million, tiny in my opinion, very, very small for what it is. And if you don't know what it is, I should suggest you check it out. So it is a community governed DeFi platform focusing on staking, lending and governance. Mantra DAO leverages wisdom and to create a community governance, transparency, and most importantly, a decentralized ecosystem for Web 3.0. Built on a parity substrate for the Polkadot ecosystem, Mantra DAO gives financial control back to the people to grow wealth together. Basically, it's like the MakerDAO on Ethereum, but this is on the Polkadot system. Really decent. Again, Rio is the one where they're doing it on the system, but you actually have to hold the MantraDAO to get into the Rio. So there's all kinds of stuff on this. Very, very interesting. There's a lot to look at. A lot to look at in reality, especially looking around. But for me personally, I think MantraDAO will probably do very, very well. The fact of its likeness to the MakerDAO and stuff like that in terms of how it'll work. But in my opinion, I think it's like the way the ecosystem looks like it's going to grow on Polkadot. There's going to be some really good assets going onto their system. There's also going to be a lot of assets moving over from the likes of Ethereum, Tron, etc. onto there as well, in my opinion, because it's a much better system. But for me, again, it all comes down to exchanges and development and what they've got coming. When you look at this as an example, you look at the roadmap, just to give you an insight, there's a lot of things coming, like a lot of things. And this is all about the Rio chain as well. When you look at this, you got obviously the exchange listings where we are right now, obviously Validator. Kusama is the test net, they're working on that. Obviously Validator and stuff, but then you got the mantra pools, integrated compound lending protocol, enhanced staking, mobile app, and then obviously you got assurance of MantraDAO stablecoin. So there's absolutely tons to look forward to in reality on the Polkadot system and the ecosystem. This will, in my opinion, fly up. Quite a lot of them dog shit. They are the dog shit, you know, in terms of exchanging. But when they get to the prestige and the big ones, and the volume goes up, and the profile of everything goes up, you're going to get some very, very interesting stuff. But in my opinion, if you look at the tags on the Polkadot system of what is out there right now, this is just a few of them. This is just a few of them, as I've literally just covered. But there's a lot more than that. There's a lot more. I've got like a list of about 20 currently. There's loads, but you need to keep an eye on them. There's some really good ones. But for me, there's some really, really hot coins coming out, and they're currently going on the DOT ecosystem, mainly because Polkadot is hyping up right now. But long as that hype is justified, they execute the hype correctly, we may get some really, really interesting price action coming up.